All right, trial mob. So the rumor mill is usually not too far off from the truth. Now I had heard that we'd be getting up some follow-up figures for the Warhammer 40k, dependent on how they were going, and it must be selling decently well. Now I know they haven't necessarily gone on sale, but pre-orders must have been crazy for them to consider to already be making the actual intercessors, which are the more they're the same height, but they are the more armored version of what we will be getting soon. And of course, we also have some Pia-Club exclusives that have now finally been launched. So go ahead and strap it. I'm going to be breaking down both of these because this is obviously the news that we want to be hearing about. So let's go ahead and break it down. Alright, Trial Mob, so starting off with today's news, we are just hitting on the fact that Pia-Club is now finally getting those event exclusives from Acid Rain that we all knew was coming. So here we have the Shadow of Asimite at a sweet $20 deal. I don't know why she was, I think I got her for 25 off Toonami, so if you want to go through Pia-Club instead, it's $20. That is an absolutely sweet deal. On the other hand, we have Valdo at an incredible $44.99. Just so you guys are aware, I paid $20 more than that on Toynami. So if you guys are seeing that price, $44.99, that is a real price directly from Pia-Club. I know that shipping is really where you're going to get a little bit smacked on, but this is something that I would say pull the trigger on because I'm basically paying that price for Valdo by himself here in the Americas. So anywhere else, you guys will be getting a sweet deal if the shipping price is not too high. But yeah, this is a must buy for sure. Now, I did not purchase the Nana, so I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not quite sure what the price difference is between Toynami and here, though I wouldn't imagine that it's any different from my situation with Valdo. So about a $20 difference, most likely. I imagine $44.99 is actually a pretty good price for this. So, you know, if this is what you're into, I'm definitely not. But if this is what you're into, definitely pick it up. Again, Pia-Club has good prices, good shipping. I have bought a lot of the stuff that you've seen me review and talk about directly from them. So for me, they are a trusted source. Now, last but not least, here we have the Viva La Loca Halogen Jeep. So let me tell you guys about this one real quick. So it's $46.99. I imagine the same deal was probably pricier on Toynami. But here's the deal. This is probably going to be a much larger box, so shipping is going to be rather harsh. So I'm not really sure where would be the best place to get it from in order to get out of the way of shipping. I'm sure maybe you might be able to find it on AliExpress somewhere, but just remember that these are event exclusive, so they're hard to get. If you can get them somewhere else, if they can cover you shipping, maybe it'd be better to go that way. But if not, you're really gonna have to eat up that cost and go in that direction, which Pia-Club does not have a flat rate shipping the way, like, let's say Big Bad Toy Store does. You're just gonna have to basically spend per item that you get, and the bigger it gets, the more expensive it's gonna be, and there's just no way around that. Now, Trial Mob, this is the news that we obviously wanted to see. Now, do not forget that currently all the stuff from the Warhammer Joytoy stuff is basically China exclusive, and we're not quite sure if every single release is going to be like that, but here we have the prototypical form of an actual intercessor. So this isn't the Phobos armor. This is the, I don't know what the name of this armor is. If anybody knows, go ahead and put it down there. But this is an actual intercessor. So these are the bulkier, more heavily padded, armored Warhammer 40k Space Marines. So the other ones are a little skinnier, a little bit more mobile, but these ones right here are the more regular, bulkier armor guys. So here we have confirmation that at least currently Joytoy is working on them. Obviously, this is a very early prototype. You still see a lot of different colors, a lot of different plastics, a lot of different things you see on there, so it's definitely coming together still. Now, on the other hand, this is right here proof that we're not only getting one kind of figure, but of course they're going with a few, and we don't know if they're going to do the same thing where we're just going to get a 4 set, maybe we'll get a 5 set here. As you can tell right here, that pauldron on the right is for the sergeant, so this at least main buck right here is probably going to be turned into a sergeant, so that's obviously badass. Again, this is super prototypical, very prototypey, so we don't know what's going to change between now and production. There's obviously a bunch of different stuff that they're going to put onto there, little trinkets, little details that we're going to see later. This is going to be a lot like the first time where we got a lot of these photos ahead of time before the final release. I am hoping that, dependent on how this initial release goes, that waves like this are going to become more and more widely spread. So maybe it won't be just China, but it'll be in other places, so that we'll get an opportunity to have a higher pool to pull from to be able to buy these. And then here you have this back shot right here. I apologize in advance that it wasn't the best photo, but it's the one that I got. And as you can tell, it looks good. And those thrusters, as I've mentioned before, those thrusters right there are articulated, so that's nice. But I really like that we get all the pouches pouches, the gun. There's a lot going on here. And notice that the gun on the intercessors is actually with the pistol in the other direction, while in the ones that we will be getting, the pistol is backwards. So I believe that is accurate to both figures, and that's totally fine. But it's little details like that the Joytoy seems to nail really nice. And I hope that this makes it again to a more widespread release, as this is something that, you know, I would really want to have in real, you know, here in the Americas. Now, this for sure is something that I believe everybody has been wanting to see. How big are these guys? Now, I know that we haven't gotten any direct sizing, and I've done a few little comparisons on how big these guys are, but here we actually get them right next to the miniatures on their bases. And I do believe this isn't... Actually, you know what? I can't tell from the photo if these are Primaris or if these are the regular Space Marines from before. And it does obviously matter because the new Primaris are supposed to be bigger than the old regular Space Marines. So it's hard to tell from this photo which one exactly we're looking at. If anybody can tell me what kind of miniature Space Marines those are, whether or not they're the Primaris or not. But regardless, they might be the Primaris. But regardless, this is a good way to gauge the overall size, and it looks phenomenal.